All right, Champions Meet Virgo Cup Day 1, Round 1, baby. Let's do this thing. So we have a general idea of what we want to do, and I think what we're gonna do is we're running. We're gonna try a couple Silent Suzukas to kind of see what works and what doesn't. It's hard to honestly tell. I'm gonna try this this one first. This 11.6. Well, they're both 11.6. It's between these two Silent Suzukas, but we're gonna try this one first with the front S, just because we have more skills. Along with Swinging Maestro. This other one has higher speed, but Moxie, I don't know if that's... Well, Moxie might actually be fine overall, but I think we still try this first. So try that front S. We're gonna go... Oh, God. I have so many different Taiki shuttles that, like, I don't know which one would be the better option. I don't know if this Taiki shuttle has enough skills. I mean, we can try a different one each time. Let's do this Mile Maven one. We actually have the Mile S. And then Fuji Kiseki is probably this one, despite not having a whole lot of skills. Because we have Turf S, Mile S, and the highest stats, like just truly the highest stats. But we do have other options as well for that too. But I think we start here. Yeah. And I think we try that, and we hope for the best. And we see what happens. It's all about getting into Group A. That's what it's all about. Ooh, someone's got a digital. Interesting. Okay. We're the #1 favorite. That does fill me with a little bit of confidence. So that's good. Okay. Okay. Oh. I think the good news is with Silent Suzuka, we will always have a front runner. So that's nice. The problem is that obviously like other front runners will probably blow us up. So we'll see. But okay. Race is on. Silent Suzuka gets a late start, but that is fine because that will not deter her in getting our runaway proc to put her into the lead. As we enter the midsection of the race, Silent Suzuka is going to start being rushed just a little bit, which is a little upsetting to see. So hopefully she will have enough gas in the tank to make up for that. The Swinging Maestro does end up activating to refuel, so that way she can hold her lead. And Taiki Shuttle currently holding strong in 4th place, going up actually almost to 3rd, which is good. And with Fuji Kiseki falling behind in 5th. For our pace chasers, it is really important to be in about 3rd or within the top 4 actually, because we want to allow Shooting for Victory to have the best chance of activating. The View for the Lead is Mine has activated for Suzuka, as well as Tail Held High and Corner Attempt, and we do enter the last stretch. The Angling Scheme does end up activating, and she is starting to accelerate. But you can see the pack starting to come up as well. Taiki Shuttle currently in 3rd place, also starting to accelerate with the Shooting for Victory. Victoria Popancha does end up activating, and you do see the pace chasers coming in from the outside to overtake Silent Suzuka. You do see Fuji Kiseki right behind Suzuka. Taiki Shuttle currently pulls into the lead, but will it be enough to battle against this other Fuji Kiseki? We will have to see. Lights of Vaudeville coming in too little, too late, and Taiki Shuttle barely crosses the line in first, and that is a win for our team. Already, good stuff. Winning by a head. Alright, that's 1. Good stuff, good stuff. I will take that. I'm okay with this. That's 1 win. Good stuff. Very good. Fuji's coming in 3rd, which is actually not that bad. I think the biggest problem with Fuji is that like for our pace chasers, if we're not in the top 4, we have it. Our odds of winning or catching up are decreased dramatically. Like, we have to kind of be in the top 4 in order for our pace chasers to catch up. So I think that's the biggest thing. All right. Only one other front runner in this race besides our Suzuka. So that is interesting. A late start from Fuji Kiseki, which is a little upsetting, but not the end of the world, as we are only just into the beginning of this race. Big Sisterly does end up activating, though, to give us a little bit more speed. And you do have Fuji Kiseki and Taiki Shuttle trading between 4th and 5th place right now, still in a good majority of the pack. Silent Suzuka currently still in the lead, had a little bit of a spot struggle early on, but was able to hold on to the lead overall. We do have our pace chasers currently in 5th and 6th, which is a little bit dangerous. Again, we want them to be in about 4th place in order for Shooting to Victory to activate. View from the lead is mine does end up going off on Suzuka, Professor Curvature, and Gorman for Taiki Shuttle and Fuji Kiseki. Taiki Shuttle in 4th place now. Shooting for Victory will end up activating, which is good in the last 600 meters, which will allow her to begin her acceleration. Hopefully it is enough. Angling Scheming does end up activating for Suzuka, who is trying to accelerate, trying to outrun all the other pace chasers, but will it be enough? Taiki Shuttle currently in 3rd, falling right behind Suzuka. Will she be able to overtake and solidify 2nd? Victoria Popancha does end up activating. She has passed Suzuka, and she is currently in the lead, but you do have an Oguri Cap coming in from the outside, but will they be able to pass? And they will. Unfortunately, not enough power, and the Oguri Cap does end up stealing 1st place from us. Fujikiseki coming in a consistent 3rd. Damn it, man. Okay. It's fine. Not that big of an issue. One loss, not the greatest thing, but it happens. It happens. Yeah, just that last bit we weren't able to keep our lead. And again, I think it's just because like our pace chasers early on were in like 5th and 6th place, which is not where we want to be. If there are a lot of other pace chasers, things get real complicated really fast. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of pace chasers. There's 3 other ones, so there's 5 total. Things get real cluttered. Alright. The race is on. Miles Straightaways ends up activating for Taiki Shuttle early on, along with the Shrewd Step to give her a little bit more navigation, which is good. Taiki Shuttle currently in 4th place, which is where we want to be, but is being contested with this Hishi Akabono as well, and will drop down to 5th. Hydrate does end up activating for Taiki Shuttle to give her a little bit more fuel, meanwhile Suzuka is currently holding strong in our runaway position, blocking out this Maruzensky and this Saiyan Sky, but that lead is starting to shrink a little bit. We are at the 800 meter mark though. View for the lead is mine to give her a little bit of extra speed, and right now our pace chasers are really struggling at this point. Currently in 6th and 8th. I don't think our pace chasers are going to be able to catch up in time in order to make it. Angling Scheming does end up coming out. Taiki Shuttle actually ends up getting the Shooting for Victory though, which is good. She's able to jump back up all the way up to 4th, but she is starting to duel for another contesting spot. Currently Suzuka still in 1st place, holding strong, but you do have some of the other pace chasers and late surgers coming in from the outside trying to overtake, but will it be enough? Or Oguri Cap is coming out from the outside, but will it be enough to overpass? And she already has, actually. I didn't even notice. At some point, Silent Suzuka got swallowed by the pack, and I didn't even notice it. Damn. Fuck. Unfortunate. I didn't even notice, actually. Jesus Christ. I didn't even see what happened there. Oh my god. Dude, that's crazy, actually. That's wild. Damn. Yeah, we're getting swallowed by the other pace chasers, which really sucks. That really is unfortunate, honestly. Also, not getting our speed eaters to activate too. The speed eater debuffs aren't activating either, which I was really hoping, like, that was really hoping to give us an extra edge, but I'm not seeing them activate at all, and that's really upsetting me. Like, they're just not activating. That sucks. Alright, the gates are open. Get Mile Maven and Mile straightaways for Taiki Shuttle to put her in second place right now, which is a very good, very strong start. Shuji Kiseki following behind in third, and fourth. Big Six Chili ends up activating. The Speed Eater for Silent Suzuka does end up activating, which is very good. That does help give us a little bit of an extra edge, which also helps activate the Swinging Maestro and the Tail Held High. Speed Eater from Fuji Kiseki does also debuff more of the opposing teams, which is good. And currently, all three of our runners holding the top 3 slots, which is amazing. Love to see that. 800 meters left. Professor Curvature and Gourmand from Fuji Kiseki does end up activating. And our 2 pace chasers are going to be competing against each other. Speed Eater for Taiki Shuttle does also activate. So we have all 3 Speed Eaters activating on this run, which is really very exciting to see. But will it be enough to hold off the rest of the pack? Angling and Scheming does end up activating, and Suzuka does currently still hold the lead. But Taiki Shuttle coming in from the outside is starting to thoroughly accelerate and will be taking the lead and taking over, followed by Fuji Kiseki, who is going to be fighting for first. And Taiki Shuttle crosses the line in first place, and that is another win for us. Very nice. Oh, it's this Twinkle monthly extra, right? Is this the thing? Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Woo. Very nice. Taiki Shuttle pulls it off, baby. Alright, that's 2 wins, 2 losses. Can we get a third to put us into Group A? We will just have to see. I'm hoping we will. I'm hoping we'll be able to get there. Number 4 favorite. Number 2. Oh, we're number 7. Who's number 1? Vodka? Oh gosh. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh me, oh my. Alright, we have another front runner in the form of Maruzensky, but our Silent Suzuka runaway is going to serve as our blocker overall to keep this Maruzensky from running away from us. Meanwhile, we have our 2 pace chasers currently doing okay in the pack itself, not in the main congregation, fighting for the top 4 slots. Taiki Shuttle does end up actually getting into 3rd place, and we do have the Corner Adept, Tail Held High, and Speed Eater debuff coming in from Silent Suzuka, which is very nice to see. View from the lead is mine, does end up activating, but Maruzensky does end up activating the red ship. Will it be enough to keep this front runner at bay? Changing gears and Hydrate from Taiki Shuttle does end up activating as well. Shooting for Victory is going to go off to give Taiki Shuttle some more acceleration. You can see you're slowly creeping up at the top of your screen. Keep an eye on that Taiki Shuttle, because she's coming. Angling and Scheming does end up activating to give us more acceleration and block the Maruzensky from getting the runaway. But Taiki Shuttle following right behind. Taiki Shuttle says, "You've done your job, Suzuka. It's my time to close out." But will it be enough? We do have a Vodka and a Virgo Cup coming in from the outside, and they are catching up very fast. And it looks like they will overtake, unfortunately. And Taiki Shuttle down enough power and just can't accelerate in order to catch up. And unfortunately, that is 2 wins for us in this first attempt for the Virgo Cup. Not bad, but definitely was hoping for a little bit more. Okay. Well, that's 2 wins. Let's see what we can change around and go from there. So let's try this Suzuka instead. We have Turf S. Yeah, we'll have a way more speed. We have still has front S as well, which is nice. Let's switch to this Taiki Shuttle. We have less skills, but we have higher speed and higher power and higher wits and higher stat. We basically have higher stats just all over the place. We just don't have the Mile S, which I think might come in a little bit more play. What's this one? Oh, this is the one that has like a bunch of other stuff on it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's do that, and then man, I think this is kind of the best Fujikiseki, honestly, is what it seems like. But this one has more skills to it, so let's try this Fujikiseki instead. Less power. Definitely don't have the Mile S, unfortunately. So let's try these and see how that goes. That might go a little bit better. Really upsetting that the Speed Eater only really activated one race for the triple Speed Eater. We got it on Suzuka, which was cool, but yeah, unfortunately the Speed Eater just like not paying off as much as I would have liked it to, from what it looked like. Even with all three of them going off, it's like, oh, that's really not doing anything. Like, it's really not doing anything, unfortunately. So, all right, good. Oh, nice. All right, number one favorite, doing okay. Unfortunately, Fujikiseki and Silent Suzuka, people don't have a whole lot of high hopes for them. Unfortunate to see. But at least one of our runners is favored. Alright, the race has started. Silent Suzuka does end up rocketing into the lead for our runaway strategy, but is going to be rushed just a little bit so that will drain her stamina a little bit more, but her job is just to try and block the other front runners to make sure that they do not get ahead of us and break out of this race. Meanwhile, we have Fujikiseki and Taiki Shuttle currently in 6th and 7th, which is a little bit low. We will hopefully they will be popping some extra speed skills. We get ramp up and the burning speed to give them a little bit extra speed. They do need to try and get into 4th place in order for shooting for victory to end up activating. Fujikiseki will end up actually going up into 4th to get the shooting for victory. So straight descent, prepared to pass. All those are firing off. So Taiki Shuttle follows suit, which is good to see. Angling and scheming for Suzuka is going to happen, but Taiki Shuttle coming, wow, accelerating to a very, very strong degree, will actually end up overtaking Suzuka from what it looks like, and it looks like 1st and 2nd place are gonna go to us though, which is very good to see. So, we do have Nice Nature and Rice Hour trying to catch up, but it looks like they will have to settle for 3rd, and Taiki Shuttle closes out and gets 1st for us. Love that. Very good. Taiki Shuttle able to accelerate past the pack and able to navigate in order to get the shooting for victory, and G accelerated to a very alarming degree, and I am very happy about that. Very impressive. That's one win. Can we get 2 more? Let us find out. We are 1/3 of the way there to Group A. Nice. Silent Suzuka actually the number 2 favorite, which is actually very exciting to see. Our Taiki Shuttle still the number 1. Love that. So 2 out of our 3 runners are in the top 3 for favoritism. Love that. Love to see that. Fujikiseki comes out of the gate with a late start. Unfortunate to see. And we do have Silent Suzuka trying to contest with this Mihono Bourbon in order to get into the lead and go for our runaway style. We do have a little bit of a stamina debuff, but Silent Suzuka still holding strong now as we enter into the mid race as the runaway for the and currently serves as the current leader. Mile Corners does end up activating for Suzuka, and Fujikiseki Speed Eater does tax the speed of the opposition in our race for this round. 800-meter mark. View from the lead is mine does end up activating to hold on. Final push for Suzuka to try and make it to the end of this race. Burning Spirit Speed does end up activating for Taiki Shoto to put her in fourth, and she will allow us, that will allow for the shooting victory to activate in the last 600 meters. Professor Curvature does also give us a little bit of extra speed, and Taiki Shoto currently in third and still accelerating to an alarming pace, but Daiwa Scarlet is also passing Suzuka by. Taiki Shoto dueling Daiwa Scarlet for the lead and ends up going in first and is still accelerating at a very alarming degree. Taiki Shoto still pulling ahead. There's 200 meters left, and Taiki Shoto leads by 2 whole lengths. Will easily close this race out and will net us another victory for a 2-0 finish. One more win, and that puts us to Group A. Very good, very good. All right, that's 2 wins in the bag. Can we get a third? Just one more victory, and that will put us into Group A. All right. Still the #1 favorite. Silent Suzuka, despite the bad mood, is still the 4th favorite, which is good to see. But Taiki Shoto still holding strong as the #1. Can she hold up to that prediction? The gates are open. The runaway strategy has gone out, and Silent Suzuka is trying to compete for this lead spot. And early on in this race, she will be able to hold strong. But the other front runners are very close behind her and will be giving her a really big run for her money overall. Trying to hold off this Marzensky is going to be the biggest challenge. Corner attempt does end up activating, though, to give Silent Suzuka a little bit more of an edge. Gormon to refill the tank on Taiki Shoto. Preferred position for Fuji Kiseki. Currently Taiki Shoto and Fuji Kiseki both in 4th and 5th place. Suzuka does end up actually dropping down to 3rd. I think she is out of gas, unfortunately, which will be a big problem trying to catch this Maruzensky at the 600 meter mark. Taiki Shoto shooting the victory, just trying to accelerate. You do see her catching up to this Maruzensky, but will it be enough? Currently in 2nd place and falling right behind. I do see an Oguri cap. Taiki Shoto trying to go from the outside, trying to pass this Maruzensky. Is dueling for 1st place, but will it be enough? Currently, Oguri cap also coming in from the outside as the final burst, and I think Oguri cap has taken this as a chance to steal the lead and will be taking 1st. Taiki Shoto, unfortunately, having to duel with the Maruzensky and not able to, and that does cut into her speed, not able to fully accelerate, and Oguri cap not having to deal with that sort of battle, still with enough gas in the tank, easily steals 1st away from us. And once again, our victory to get into Group A dashed away once more. They'll have 2 more attempts, though. 2 more attempts, only need 1 more win. Can we get there? That's the first time our Suzuka really had to compete against other front runners, and unfortunately just wasn't able to fend them off. All right. 2 of our runners are in a bad mood. That's unfortunate. That being said, though, still the #1 favorite for this Taiki Shoto. Alright, we get a late start from the Taiki Shoto. Unfortunate to see, because it's already going to be an uphill battle to try and net this win. Silent Suzuka does end up coming out of the gates, sprinting to solidify her runaway, her spot as the runaway front runner. Is going to be struggling just a little bit against the Silent Suzuka, who is going to try and overtake her, but ours is trying to fight and contest for this lead, but it looks like unfortunately ours just doesn't have what it takes in order to hold strong. Silent Suzuka already dropping down to 2nd, and that lead is pretty far away. Speed Eater does end up coming out, though, to tax the rest of the runners, but it's going to be up to our pace chasers to try and catch up to this other Silent Suzuka. Shooting for victory does end up activating for Taiki Shuttle, who is going to come around and get into second place, is going to quickly catch up, is going to start catching up to this other Suzuka, who is currently in the lead. Lights of Volleyball from Fujikiseki does also end up activating, and it is going to be Taiki Shuttle and Fujikiseki currently fighting for first place. Taiki Shuttle currently holding strong in first with Fujikiseki right behind, but I think unfortunately Vodka coming in from the inside and going to dash away. I think the duel between Fujikiseki and Taiki Shuttle actually fucked us. And once again, we spot struggled and we taxed ourselves to allow a late surger to steal the victory from us. We sabotaged ourselves. Damn it, man. Fuck. Dude, fuck, man. We should have won that, but I think because we had a fight between Taiki Shuttle and Fujikiseki, that allowed the vodka to just blitz by us. I can't believe we fought against ourselves, and there's no reason for that. That's unfortunate, honestly. That seems a little unfortunate. Alright, last race for this attempt. Will we be able to get that third win? Right, no late starts here for this race, which is good to see. Silent Suzuka, though, is trying to compete with with the mirror match in the runaway style, and it looks like, unfortunately, she will be losing this duel. This other Silent Suzuka is going to be serving as our front runner for this race, it seems. Currently, we also have our pace chasers currently in 7th and 6th, which is very far away and not where you want them to be, because this race is not long, 1,600 meters, and it will go by very, very fast. Mild corners and held high does end up activating for Fujikiseki, though, who is trying to come in on the inside, and a good majority of the pack is going to be clumped together, so we can just pass a couple of them in this last stretch. That will be massive. And it looks like Fujikiseki is going to be the one that's going to be trying to lead this charge. Lights of Vaudeville does end up activating, and Fujikiseki is currently in second place, but will she be able to catch up to the Maruzensky, who is just light years ahead? Or it's actually a Taiki Shuttle, who is light years ahead, still accelerating to alarming degree, but Fujikiseki is trying to catch up. She's really, really pushing for it, but will it be enough? There's only 200 meters left, and she's already 5 lengths behind, and it's not enough. Fujikiseki coming in second, and again, it's still only 2 wins. Damn it, man. Just can't seem to get that third win. Damn it, dude. Fuck. Dude, there's no reason we should have lost. We shouldn't. There's no reason we should have lost that. Like, actually, fucking me, man. Fuck. Yeah. And we just didn't have enough skills for. I think Taiki Shuttle just doesn't have enough skills. Alright. Well, that's still two wins, so there's that, I guess. Man. That sucks. It sucks so hard. Alright. Let's try. The thing is that, like, this Fujikiseki is also kind of a downgrade, honestly. But, okay. Try that. Let's try this Taiki Shuttle, I guess. How many skills is this one? 3, 4, 6, 7. And this is 11. Yeah. This is 11 skills. So this Taiki Shuttle has more skills, which could be good. I don't know what to do about the Silent Suzuka, honestly. Like, I just don't know what to do about it. Let's try this one, I guess. This is a pretty average Silent Suzuka. I don't have, like, the highest hopes. I also might want to consider switching into Saiyan Sky, but I don't think any of my Saiyan Skies are really all that great, honestly. Okay. Well, that's 2 attempts with 2 wins out of them, so that's exciting. We need to try and get that 3rd win in order to get to Group A. Taiki Shuttle currently the 2nd favorite. Bit of a downgrade, but still has a decent chance. Actually kind of surprised that we have an Agnes Digital here. Alright. Gates are open. Silent Suzuka is able to rocket out into the lead early on in this race, which is good to see overall. We have Taiki Shuttle currently in 7th, which is not where we want to be at all, honestly speaking. But Fujikiseki is following behind in 5th. Mile Corners does end up activating for Fujikiseki though to help us and try and close the distance. And you do have most of the runners all congregated in the middle of the pack. So trying to get into 4th isn't going to be that big of a hurdle to cross, but it is going to be really important to get up into the top 4 if we want to have a chance to catch up and overtake for this race. Silent Suzuka currently activating a bunch of other late skills to try and increase her lead. Angling Scheming does end up activating, but will there be any acceleration to have that matter? It doesn't look like there is, unfortunately. And Taiki Shuttle and Fujikiseki coming in on the way outside can't seem to find any way to get in, and that will cost them because they have to travel even further in order to catch up. And unfortunately, the other 2 Taiki Shuttles and the Agnes Digital are just way too far ahead. None of our racers able to really get any good distance or find any really good line in order to get into in order to win, to get into the top 4 or top 3. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. God, so many pace chasers. Alright. Man, fuck me, man. It's all pace chasers all the way down. That is unfortunate. Alright. Gates are open. Silent Suzuka going up against a mirror match to try and get this runaway position. Will she be able to do it? There is a spot struggle, and Silent Suzuka does end up winning out, which is good to see. But how long will that last, and at what cost will that be in order to keep that lead? 1,000 meters left. Currently, our pace chasers currently in 7th and 5th. There are a lot of pace chasers in this race specifically, so trying to get out of the pack will be a little difficult. But the good news is that it's not a whole, they're very clumped together. So trying to get out is not impossible, but it will be very difficult. Alright, we enter into the late stage. Angling Scheming does end up activating. Silent Suzuka is going to try and accelerate it, but to no avail. There really just isn't enough speed or power, and she very quickly drops like a rock. Meanwhile, both of our pace chasers are caught in the pack and just cannot get ahead. Lights of Vaudeville does end up activating for Fuji Kiseki, who is trying to catch up, but I don't think it's enough. She's going to have to settle for 3rd place, unfortunately, and that is going to be another loss on our team. Damn, man. This is, I think, going to be our worst attempt. 0-2 so far. Currently 0-2. That does not bode well. I'll tell you that. Does not bode well at all. All right. Got a late surger, some more pace chasers, a lot more. Oh, an end closer as well. Alright. Silent Suzuka early on in this race is able to rocket out into the lead to serve as our runaway blocker. That is good to see. We also have Taiki Shuttle and Fuji Kiseki currently in 5th and 7th. The Speed Eater from Silent Suzuka does end up taxing a little bit to reduce their speed, but she is going to be rushed, which will affect her stamina. Taiki Shuttle igniting the Spirit Speed, which is good to put her up into 4th place, is going to be right in between Maruzensky and Sakurabakushin O. So she does have a clear view in order to get past the pack, but will she be able to accelerate, or will she get swallowed? View from the lead does end up activating for Silent Suzuka, who still has a pretty considerable lead overall, and that is really good to see. Shooting for Victory does end up activating for Taiki Shuttle, who is currently in 3rd, and she is going to try and start to her acceleration. Taiki Shuttle currently rounds the last corner and is accelerating at a pretty decent rate, but there is another Taiki Shuttle right behind her. Taiki Shuttle does end up passing Silent Suzuka, who is going to be currently in the 1st place, but another Taiki Shuttle for the mirror match is going to be right on her heels. There's 200 meters left. Taiki Shuttle trying to hold strong, but will she be able to hold strong? She does! And the duel comes out with a win from Taiki Shuttle and a win for our team. Ooh. Very good. All right, that's 1 win. So we are 1-2 right now. We need to win these last 2 races in order to be able to get to Group A. We basically have to go flawless. or this will not work for this attempt. Oh.
8番人気は7番
All right. Let's go.
スタート
All right, 4th race for this attempt of the Virgo Cup. Silent Suzuka going off against the mirror match. Looks like, unfortunately, she will not be able to make it, but the prudent positioning does give her that extra burst of speed to get ahead of the Suzuka. Will she be able to hold this lead, or will that spot struggle prove to be too much of a burden for Suzuka to hold on? Taiki Shuttle currently in 5th place does activate the shifting gears and Professor Curvature to put her into 4th, and is right behind Summer Marzensky in 3rd, and will be right up against her to try and solidify herself and close the gap from the leaders of this race. Our Suzuka does end up dropping off from, it looks like the spot struggle is just a little too much for her, and she has burned out. Fortunately for her, though, Shooting for Victory does end up activating for Taiki Shuttle, who is going to try and start her acceleration. She is currently in 3rd, and she is accelerating back to 2nd. The view from the lead is mine does end up acting for Suzuka, but I don't think that's really going to do anything for her, and Taiki Shuttle rockets all the way into 1st, but will she be able to hold strong? We are going into the final race itself, it seems, and you have a Vodka and a Taiki Shuttle carrying up coming in from the inside, but it's not enough. Taikishoda closes out and is able to net us a second win. Can we get to Group A? We have one more race, one last attempt. Will we be able to make it to Group A with this team? Let us find out. One more race, one more chance to make it into Group A for the Virgo Cup. Will it be enough? Or will we once again only go 2 and 3 for a third attempt?
8番人気9番サイレンスス
Taikishoda is the third favorite for this race, it would look like. With Sun Suzuka, I think, labeled as like the 8th favorite, unfortunately. Early on in this race itself, we do have Suzuka going out into the runaway, trying to block this Marzensky and Sakura Bakushin. But Masaru Marzensky is going to be fighting fervently for this lead position. Taiki Shuttle currently in 5th place, followed by Fujiki Seki in 6th. Taiki Shuttle will end up going into 4th, which is just a couple feet back away from the top 3 position. Taiki Shuttle is fighting for 5th, or fighting for 4th, and actually is going to be activating some more skills in order to shift and get the shooting victory to begin her acceleration. She is currently in 2nd. Suzuka has already dropped off, unfortunately, and Marzensky is going to be a menace. But on the outside, we do have the mirror match. Taiki Shuttle is going to overtake. Will Taiki Shuttle be able to accelerate anymore? And it looks like she's capped out. She's all out of juice, and Taiki Shuttle is already at maximum speed, and it looks like she's not going to be getting any more, and she's not going to be able to accelerate and overtake. And unfortunately, that is another 2-3 loss for our group. Still eluding, our third win still eluding us. And we just can't seem to get into Group A still. Damn it, man. Fuck. Just can't seem to do it. Oh. This is unfortunate. This is really unfortunate. Oh. Do we switch to Saiyan Sky? I don't think we do, honestly. I just don't think we do. Man. This is upsetting. Even our best attempts, we still can't get a third win. I'm at a bit of a loss. I just don't know what to, I don't know what team comp is kind of the best. I think this is our best runaway Suzuka. As far as Fujiki Seki goes, Let's try this. Let us try this and see what happens. All right. Early on in this race, Silent Suzuka rockets out into the lead. Nothing super out of the ordinary on that. Looks like we have one other front runner in the form of Maruzensky. Overall, with Taiki Shuttle currently holding strong in third place right now. Shrewd Step, as well as a couple other skills, have already activated to allow Taiki Shuttle a decent position, and is actually going to actually fight this Maruzensky to get into second place, which is good to see. 800 meters left. Silent Suzuka activates View from the lead is mine to hold on to that lead. She just needs to hold on enough so that way the Maruzensky doesn't get ahead. Speed Eater from Taiki Shuttle does end up taxing some of the other runners, which is good to see. As we round this last corner, will Taiki Shuttle activate anything else, or will it be just Suzuka all the way down? Victoria Propancha for Taiki Shuttle does end up activating, but I don't see any shooting for victory, though, for Taiki Shuttle, unfortunately, but she is going to be dueling. Will it be enough, though? Taiki Shuttle trying to hold strong in first place, and she's just barely ahead, fighting Special Week, but it's going to be close, and Taiki Shuttle just barely crosses the line in first place, despite not having shooting for victory activate, which is pretty, honestly, very impressive, honestly. I'm here for it. 2着はスペシャルウィークバン次のレースも風穴開けます 負けない All right, that's one win. Two more. Oh my god. 4. It's all front runners and pace chasers. Fucking A. It's all front runners and pace chasers. Jesus Christ. Okay. Alright. The gates are open. The race is on. Silent Suzuka rockets out in front, but is going to struggle a little bit against the mirror match, but ends up coming in first as we enter the midsection of the race. Meanwhile, our pace chasers currently having Fujikiseki in fourth, with Taiki Shuttle following in 7th. Fujikiseki does end up dropping back down to 6th, though, being swallowed up by the rest of the pack, which will be a little concerning. Hopefully they will be able to navigate and break on through. Taiki Shuttle does end up does end up dropping down to 8th though, which is not a great position for her. Hopefully she will be able to catch back up. Suzuka still holding strong in the lead right now, with the opposition not really looking like they're accelerating all too much, but it will come down to this last bit of race itself. Angling Scheming does end up activating to give Silent Suzuka some more acceleration, but it looks like she's all out of gas, unfortunately. But Fuji Kiseki says, tag in, I'm here to try and to solidify a victory here. Lights of Valleyville does go up. Victoria Power Plancha also ends up activating. Fuji Kiseki does end up pushing through. The rest of the pack just isn't enough to catch up with her, and Fuji Kiseki easily solidifies first place, and that is a second win for our team. 2-0. Can we get a third? That is the biggest challenge. We need to get a third win in order to get into Group A. Will we be able to do it? Look at that. Look at her. Look at that determination. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Let's put that in the scrapbook. Fuck yeah. Woo. That's actually a pretty good photo. I'm not gonna lie, because I think that's all three of our runners. That's our Suzuka, Fuji Kiseki, and I think that's our Taiki Shuttle, because ours came in third. I think that's all three of us. That's a great shot. That's a great shot. All right. Fuji Kiseki actually the #1 favorite for this race, with Taiki Shuttle followed by #2. Actually, all three of our runners, top 3 favorites. So that is really exciting to see. Hopefully they will be able to live up to that expectation. Hopefully they don't crack under the pressure. That being said, Fuji Kiseki comes out of the gate with a late start. Unfortunate to see, but hopefully that will not be that big of an issue. Silent Suzuka does end up rocketing out into the lead for our runaway style. Meanwhile, Taiki Shuttle does end up activating the mile straightaways, followed by along with Suzuka, to try and keep up with the rest of the pack. It does look like we have a decent amount of, we have 3 other front runners who are going to serve as our top 4, or yeah, we have 4 front runners who serve as the top 4, but Taiki Shuttle is able to ramp up and overtake one of the front runners in the form of Smart Falcon. View from the lead is mine, does activate at the 800-meter mark to give Silent Suzuka some more speed, but she doesn't have that much of a lead overall, but she is starting to accelerate a little bit more as we get closer to the end of this race. 600 meters left, and shooting for victory does end up activating for Taiki Shuttle, who is coming in from the outside. Will she be able to accelerate and overtake? Angling Scheming does end up activating for Silent Suzuka, who will be taking that lead spot, but Taiki Shuttle is coming out in from the outside to try and overtake. Currently the top 2 is going to be Taiki Shuttle and Silent Suzuka, with Fuji Kiseki coming in from the outside as well, trying to take the third split, trying to fight for the top 3. Lights of Vaudeville are coming up. Who will be able to take it? It looks like one of our team is going to be solidifying our 3rd win, and it is Fuji Kiseki, followed by Taiki Shuttle, our top 2 going, but that doesn't matter, because what matters is that we win for a 3rd time, and that will put us into Group A. Fantastic. The team is finally coming together. The team is finally coming together, and that is Group A qualified. Oh, that is a weight lifted off my shoulders. That's good. Good news is we qualified for Group A. So now the rest of these attempts for tomorrow is really just testing. It's improving and testing and trying to get a better Taiki Shuttle, trying to get a better Fuji Kiseki, maybe even switching Suzuka out to put in like a late surge vodka maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but that's really what it's coming down. That's what it is now. It's all testing now to see what can we improve on, thankfully, now that the pressure is off. All right, another late start from Fujikiseki, which is a little bit upsetting to see. But that being said, Fujikiseki won the last race despite the late start, so maybe we pull off another miracle. We will just have to see. Meanwhile, Silent Suzuka, currently the runaway leader, followed by two other front runners to serve as our second and third place. The Speed Eater does end up activating, though, to slow them down and try to allow our pace chasers to catch up. Professor Curvature coming in from Taiki Shuttle, who is still a decent ways away from third place, but still is in fourth, which is, as long as she can keep that position, that will allow the shooting for victory to go up. View from the lead is mine, does end up activating for Suzuka, who is still in first, but we do have a Marzensky slowly catching up, trying to overtake in this last corner. Hopefully Suzuka can hold out and steal the angling and scheming away from Marzensky, so that way she doesn't get the acceleration that she would want. Final push does end up activating, and the angling scheming does end up going to Suzuka, who is going to accelerate a decent degree and leave this Marzensky in the dust. Meanwhile, Taiki Shuttle does end up passing the Marzensky to get into second place, but Suzuka still has a pretty good lead ahead of her right now. Will she be able to keep it? We do have a Vodka coming in from the outside trying to catch up and accelerate, but we're just too far ahead, and Silent Suzuka and Taiki Shuttle cross the line for first and second, and that is 4 wins in the bag. Can we go flawless? Suzuka, for her first win in the Champions Meet, able to actually generate enough of a lead that no one else can catch up to her. Very, very good. That's 4 wins. Can we go flawless?
Start. 各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。
みんな集中してましたね。好レースが期待できそうです。
期待通りの結果を出せるか。1番人気9番藤木関、サイレンス鈴鹿快調に飛ばして行きます。さあ花に立ったのはサイレンス鈴鹿。このままリードすることができるか。先頭から大きく離されて2番手は9番藤木関、内から待機シャトル。
Sorry, I was distracted by something. So currently, Silent Suzuka currently leading the pack in first place, followed by both of our pace chasers actually in second and third, which is actually very exciting to see. Speed Eater from Taiki Shuttle does end up activating, as well as the Speed Eater from Silent Suzuka. Taiki Shuttle currently in fourth place, still not that big of a deal though, because that still puts her in shooting range. Silent Suzuka does end up activating. The view from the lead is mine, with Fujikiseki following in second place. If we can hold strong for these the top 2 positions, that all but assures our victory in this last race. Shooting for victory does end up activating, and Taiki Shuttle does end up accelerate into third and is right behind Fujikiseki. Still, currently, all 3 of our runners are the top 3 spots, but will it be enough? Fujikiseki and Taiki Shuttle are going to end up dueling, and hopefully that doesn't bite us in the back. Currently, though, Flights of Valio does end up going up. Fujikiseki does end up dropping into first place, followed by Taiki Shuttle. It's going to be a top 3 finish for our last run, and that is a flawless attempt for our team. What a way to end it, to go out with a bang and solidify the top 3 slots. Very good. Very good outcome. Not only do we go flawless, but we also end up taking first, second, and third. Very, very good. Love that. Absolutely love that. A master class in racing indeed. Ooh. Very good. Very exciting. Well done. Well done. I don't know if we just got lucky, but regardless of the fact, that is Group A solidified with a 3-win finish, able to go flawless for our last attempt for day 1. And on that note, guys, that is it for me tonight. Thank you so much for coming out to the stream. I will see you guys back here tomorrow for day 2 in the Virgo Cup. I will probably try to run a couple more careers off stream just to see if I can improve all of our runners, see if what we can improve on. I think what I want to do is Oh god, which one is it? I think what I want to do is try to redo this Fujigiseki. Obviously, it's gonna be hard to like replicate this, but if we can get some more skills here, I think that'll be huge. I don't think we need the Gourmand at all. I think that was kind of a mistake on my part. So if we can replace this Gourmand with something else to get some more skills, I think this would be the best way to mimic Fujigiseki. As far as Taiki Shuttle goes, I believe it is... I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this Taiki Shuttle. Once again, it's the same deal. More skills. I really just need more skills. Actually, no, I think it's this. This is the Taiki Shuttle that we're using, the Spirit Burst one. Even still, though, more skills. I think we could... I don't think I actually needed this Hydrate. I think I can take that out, put something else in. But I think just some more skills, maybe a little bit more power to get there. The Silent Suzuka is a bit harder. Honestly, I don't know what to do for the Silent Suzuka. I really just don't. I think this is as good as it's gonna get. And I mean, like, Suzuka's job is really just to block the other frontrunners, which she has done to a fairly decent degree, which is good to see. But unfortunately, like, we do have a couple outliers where some of the other frontrunners are just way better than us, unfortunately. But, you know, we can't really... There's not much we can do about that overall. But I think the biggest concern is trying to improve this Taiki Shuttle and definitely trying to improve the Fujigiseki for sure. The Fujigiseki, I think, is the biggest one because I think this is great. Like, it's still good. Mile S, S speed, S power. Like, it's still really good. We just need more skill. I think we just definitely need more skills. So I'm going to try and probably work on more Fujigisekis and definitely more Taiki Shuttles. But I'm glad that we made it to Group A. Hopefully, we could do a little bit more testing and try to fiddle around some stuff tomorrow. Thankfully, it's tomorrow I can just focus on improving and reworking stuff. And I don't have to worry about the pressure of getting into Group A. But that's for tomorrow. As always, though, my name is Shogun Shin. You, the audience. And I will see you guys next time.